Hello and welcome back. Today we're here with former Major League Baseball player Lou Collier, formerly with the Pittsburgh Pirates, Philadelphia Phillies, Milwaukee Brewers, Montreal Expos, and the Boston Red Sox. First time I met you, Lou, we were down in Vero Beach, EDI, and I've been hearing about you and some of the things that you're doing with your Lou Collier Baseball Association in Chicago. But the first time that I was actually able to witness what you were doing with the kids were down in EDI with some of the prospects that I think it was a 2022, 2023, 2024 class down in EDI, and it was very interesting to actually see how you converse with the players and you were more hands-on more than anything. Tell me a little bit about EDI and kind of how it works.
So the Elite Development Invitational was an initiative that Major League Baseball started. The whole premise of the program is to kind of discover underserved kids, right?
Okay.
Different inner cities and different programs that might not be getting the training and the exposure that they need. So they came up with the Elite Development Invitational, which is now the Hank Aaron Invitational. They changed the name.
Okay.
And what they do, they kind of select kids from all over the country. They fly them down to Vero Beach, old Dodger Town complex. It's approximately about 30 ex-major leaguers that's down there to train these guys. These kids come in for a week and get top-notch training, along with information as to what's at the next level. And then they're getting an experience of a week-long training session, just kind of preparing them and prepping them for what it's like to be a pro at the college level.
Yeah, man. Because when I was down there, I was kind of in awe of how it was ran. Kind of like spring training was. When I played, I'm sure when you played, kind of like spring training. They had early work. Then they played games in the afternoon, and then kind of gave the kids an opportunity to be kids later on in the afternoon. Now, how long is that? How long was that?
Yeah, so it's about a week long. They fly the kids in, probably on a Monday. Have a quick little introduction, talk to the kids, and then Tuesday we get out. They do their testing, all the testing and measurements and different stuff like that for those guys. And then from that point on, man, it's all training and development.
Gotcha.
They also have seminars for the kids. Different speakers come in and talk to them, and scouts are there to watch. College coaches are there to watch them. So they get a full scope of everything they need to get that exposure and development that can help them.
Cool, man. Yeah, man. Here at Showcase, we believe in training kids at an early age. We try to get them 7 years old, 6, 7 years old, train them to they're about 12, 13, going to 14U. And I know with you being with MGBA, Marquise Grissom Baseball Association, around 15, 16 years old, that's kind of where I see your niche, man, is with those kids that are on that level of either being a D1 player or a professional baseball player. And that's when you kind of wrap your arms around them and give them kind of the nourishment that they need.
Right. Yeah, it's important, guys like you to instill that foundation in the kids because they need that guidance at a young age. Just learn how to do things the right way and develop a work ethic and a love for the game. I've seen, from dealing with kids from Chicago doing the same thing, I've seen that the kids don't get that development at a young age, they lose the love for it. It's a game with a lot of failure. And at that age, they can't understand the difference. So guys like you that's teaching the game the right way, have a program for those young kids. When we get them at 14, 15 years old, they're ready to go. We really ready to take them and challenge them, push them to the next level, and just make sure they stay on that track. So that foundation is very important.
Yeah. Speaking of foundation, man, your son, Cam Collier, #1 ranked player in Georgia, nationally ranked. Man, what's the grind like, man? Being that you're a professional baseball player, and your son being one of those top kids, what's the grind like on an everyday basis?
Yeah, first of all, I'm proud of him because he's put in the work, man. We've been getting out there since he's been about 3 years old.
Right.
He's fortunate. I played in the major leagues. I've been through that pathway. I understand the do's and don'ts. So for me, for him, it's like a gift and a curse, right? The gift is it's all laid out for him. The curse is I'm not gonna let him slack at all.
Right.
I mean, it hasn't since he's been 3 years old. We do things the right way. We stay consistent, and we're doing something every day for him to improve at the game. You know, whether it's just watching videos or studying this game or swinging, dry swinging, whatever that is, we got to do something for him to improve every day. And when we go out and practice, we're working on his weaknesses. And I just try to make sure that he understands where he's weak at and understand his strengths as well. And we just keep plugging away. It's a long process, man. It's something that's not going to happen overnight.
Right.
And he's starting to understand it now. It's tough being his dad and coaching him and being a fan of him as well, and have to be hard on him.
Right.
I probably don't compliment him as much as I should.
That's right.
But I try to tell him, and I think he's getting rewards of the accolades, you know, for being one of the top players in the country. So he's starting to understand how the work translates into success. And we got a long way to go, man, but we happy where we at.
That's good, man. Yeah, man, I heard you mention that word consistent. You know, being consistent in what you're doing. And you know, and there's a lot of kids that's out there that don't have fathers like you, that that didn't play. You know, either maybe at the college level or pro level. What do you recommend for dads that never played the game at a high level? What do you recommend?
Yeah, you know, for me, coaching, you know, being in the youth space for over 12, 13 years, a lot of mistakes that dads make that haven't played, right? They're searching for a quick fix. So they bounce around too much, right? My recommendation, if a dad finds a program where his kid is improving, the kid enjoys it, right? And they see progress, stick with it.
So you saying if your kid's in a good program, getting great coaching, great foundation, you need to stay where he is instead of moving from program to program to program.
Yeah, because what they're looking for, they'll never find. And they're looking for lightning in the bottle. And it's a process.
Okay, process.
It's a process.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's one of our sayings around here is trust the process.
You gotta do that.
Yeah. And we try to instill in these kids, man, the consistency, getting the good coaching, and making sure that the kids are taken care of, and leaving, you know, and trying to get the parents to understand, you know, you got to leave your feelings, you know, at the front door, and try to focus on these kids' development.
Yes, sir.
You know? Hey, so man, it's great talking to you, Lou, man, and you have your kid here today, man, Cam Collier. So, man, I really would like to see you dig into the grind and see what you do in the lab with him every day, and be able to get a chance to show our viewers exactly what it is that you do, his routine and what you're teaching him.
Yeah.
All right,
sure.
sounds good. Can we get at it?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
So the first thing we like to try to do when we're doing our hitting session, we always start out with a med ball routine. Med ball routine is just incorporating repetition. We're working on the muscles that we utilize in our swing, and it's a great way to warm up. So one of the med ball drills that we do, put him in his stance, and we simulate the ball being like his bat, and he's just working on his stride separation where he's tossing me the ball. We probably do that 2 sets of 10, and then we move on to the next thing. So it looks like this. Do one more. All right. So after he's warmed up with that, we usually get on the tee and get your bat. We're working off the tee. We generally want to work opposite field. For our first, we're going to take 10 swings. We want to take 10 up the middle opposite way. And this just teaches him the proper bat path and staying on the ball and staying through the ball. a lot of young guys like to get in the cage and just swing and pull balls, and that's really not working on anything. So we want to be particular about what we're working on. And so the first about 10 swings is working middle opposite. Well, that swing, he kind of rolled over and hooked it. That's not what we want. We want to drive the ball. He's a lefty. We want to drive the ball into left center or straight up the middle. We're trying to hit line drive. So a little bit better. That's what we're looking for. So after that, after I see that he's in a pretty good spot, driving the ball opposite field, and he's pretty loose. Then we start to just move the tee around. Want to hit a few balls back up the middle, right? And drive a couple balls back up the middle. Right? One more. And then after that, we finish up with a few where he's pulling the ball, which is probably his strength. We want to work on the weaknesses more than the strengths. So pulling the ball is generally pretty easy for anybody who's trying to learn how to hit. So we do that last. Just want to be a natural reaction. Pulling the ball, keeping your head down. All right, so after we finish with the tee and we feel good about it, I generally like to soft toss from the side, an angle right here. The reason why I'd like to do that is I want him to get your stance. I want him to focus on keeping this front side on the ball. A lot of times kids like to pull off, right? I want to keep this front side, so I flip it from an angle, usually flipping balls outside. So if we take about 100 swings, probably 75 of them we work in middle opposite. Once they get to the next level, most of the pitchers are going to pitch away, breaking balls, all speed. So we getting them ready at an early age to learn how to do that. And so this drill is nice, easy. Everything's under control. One more. All right, so after that, after we go side toss and everything's looking pretty good, sometimes I might move the ball around, throw some middle, some in. It all depends on what I see when we're working here. If I see him hitting balls pretty good this way, I kind of move on to the front toss. In the front toss, this is pretty much simulating a pitch coming from the pitcher, because now I'm dead on. I can move the ball around, but it's under control. So right here, I'm just working on timing and rhythm. I want him to have success. Success builds confidence, right? And after he's having success, then I start to challenge him. Start throwing balls in areas that he generally have problems with to see if he can make adjustments. If he can't make adjustments, that means we got some stuff to work on. So we go back to drills and different stuff that we see that we need to work on. Also, is giving him immediate feedback as well on certain pitches that he's struggling with, right? Because if he can't hit an underhand soft toss pitch, how are he gonna hit an overhand pitch that's 90 miles per hour? So it's like a self-check. So, yeah. After 5-10 middle way, then I start to move the ball around. I work them in, out. Go inside. Go outside. Go out again. Go in. Take. So after we do that, we may take 10, 15, maybe 20 swings this way. But if he's staying pretty consistent, hitting line drives, then we move on to the regular BP. And when we throw in the BP, it's pretty much the same thing, just moving the ball around, challenging them up, down, in and out. And each session we probably take I don't know. It just depends on where he's at and how much energy he has. But we're going to take at least a bucket. That bucket probably has 100, 120 balls in there. You know, we want quality over quantity. So sometimes we might come in here and take 50. Sometimes we might, you know, he might be not feeling too good, so we might take 200. It just all depends. It's just part of the development. So that's the process we've been doing since he's been a kid. We always talk about fundamentals. So we always got to get in a good stance where he's balanced. Get in your stance. Feet slightly wider than the shoulders for good balance. Hands at the top of the zone. Butt is out. Head is still. We start this way every time. All right? And he's timing me when I'm throwing or I'm breaking my hands. That's his timing mechanism. And from there, we use our lower half where he uses his hips to bring his hands through and go slow. And then we finishing up and should be balanced through the zone, finish. As simple as you can make it, you want to make sure that you fundamentally sound, keep things simple. When we're working in the cage, we try to work under control. Want to have success so he can get the feedback that he needs. And I recommend that you do this as much as possible. And as I mean, I wouldn't do it until you start getting tired, because once the kid gets tired, you start creating bad habits. But as much as they can take, and you need to be hitting at least a minimum of 3 times a week. That's pretty much it.
Well, Lou, Cam, I really appreciate you guys coming by and showing us your routine. And there's a few things that I heard you mentioned, but one that caught my ear was that consistency, and also, you know, quality over quantity is the best practice, man. You know, a lot of kids come in here taking a lot of cuts, and it may not be the right cuts, but, you know, maybe you're taking 100 cuts, but you're taking them the wrong way. Mm-hmm. It's counterproductive. Yep. So maybe take 20, 30 the right way. Mm-hmm. And that makes a world of difference, man, is when you're trying to get consistent in what you're doing in your swing.
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, man. And I really appreciate you coming by and showing us, man. And that bat, that ball coming off that bat, man, it's a different sound. So continue to work and continue to do what you've been doing with him, and also continue to give back to these kids, man. That's needing this. Yeah. Because, you know, it's not many of you out here that's actually teaching. I have a guy here, JR. He teaches the same way, man. And you guys continue to show, not only show, but, you know, just grabbing hold of these kids, man, and let them know that they have an opportunity to get taught the right way.
Definitely need it. I appreciate you having us, man. I appreciate you doing what you do too, because programs like this is the foundation for our sport. So we want to grow it, man. We want to grow it the right way. Yes, sir. And we want to, you know, give opportunity to kids who love the game.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Until next time, continue to subscribe to Georgia Showcase Baseball. Thank you.